right, guys, welcome back to another ALGS video. Hope you guys are having a great day. We have a lot to discuss today, from a lot of mistakes that people are calling Apex out for making in this next upcoming ALGS event. It's actually pretty interesting conversations, and also some potential new rosters to be formed from old players we've seen in the past. It's all pretty exciting, so make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. As always, no better time to do it as the LAN is approaching to get informed about all things ALGS. And let's jump right into the video. That was my first take, by the way. No shot, I actually just got this. You guys know yesterday Apex Legends Esports announced that they would be having this first LAN Split 1 playoffs in London. This is going to be February the 2nd through February the 5th. We actually got a response from someone over on the Garden. They're making a fair point, and I want to give them some credit here. So Reckon actually said it would take zero effort for the main Play Apex account to tweet this. It would take even less, or even a day's work, to post a LAN trailer to the Play Apex YouTube. Please market this scene. We dedicate our lives to this game all the time, and even tag the person over at EA who specifically I think is in charge of all of that nitty-gritty stuff when it comes to EA. So this is a fair point because, like we said, this is $1 million on the line. ALGS is obviously a big time to get a lot of viewers on this, a lot of people that are watching the scene that are usually not watching the scene. I think the World Championship at some point had like 700,000 live viewers. Is absolutely insane. And I think you really need to capitalize on this. So I don't blame them at all. I think that the more casual fan base probably would watch the ALGS if they knew more about it, but there's just not as much information that is public out there. I mean, even the YouTube trailers, there's usually a lot of YouTube trailers for like Fortnite events, Call of Duty events, I think sometimes, but it just seems like Apex has never really marketed this scene appropriately. And I think they could do a better job, because we have something that most games don't have, especially Battle Royale. I think we actually have a competitive game. We have a game that literally makes sense to be competitive. It's not just like, of course it's Battle Royale, you're gonna have some issues and weird things happening, but this is a legend-based game. I don't think you're getting the viewership like this consistently. I don't think you're going to I really just think our pro scene is better than most all Battle Royales, because I think Warzone's is kind of non-existent as well. So he also made another follow-up point. He said, I see people actively follow ALGS that are asking about tournaments and dates and LANs every week. If active followers struggle to keep up, how hard is it for newer or less dedicated fans? And I gotta agree, because I'm not super into the Call of Duty scene, but I am into the competitive scene, and everything is super easy. There's a website that shows you the dates of all the LANs and the locations and what time and what games are going to be played and what time those games start. It's so much information out there. But for Apex, I've been trying to get more into it recently because it's really interesting for me now, and it's really hard to keep up with what's going on. What is this format? This format's really confusing. Where's the schedule? When is this happening? Where is it happening? And so it's just kind of I feel like they definitely could do a better job at keeping fans up to date, because you have to do a lot of digging to understand what's going on, or either even be a part of the scene. And then he says, what would make it easier for you to follow Apex Legends Esports? And then Clade also saying, more skins in the game. So, I think they definitely need to do a better job at marketing this stuff, and also just keeping tabs on what's going on into the scene. Hopefully Apex will do something like that. However, that was a really weird noise my mouth just made. However, there's another thing that we're talking about today that is very specific, that this is actually causing a lot of issues. A lot of people are a little bit worried because, look, we got $1 million tournament on the line. You would hope that we're going to be playing in this, nice arena and things are going to look great. But it's actually a lot of controversy between the fans and the pro players as to where specifically this LAN will take place. This was coming from Competitive Apex, showing what the Copper Box Arena looks like inside. It's like a theater setup, and I've actually seen the COD World League back in, I think, World War II or something like that was playing here, and it actually turned out pretty good. It's not that bad, but it definitely looks a little bit small. But as we move on to other tweets and more people talking about this, people are making fun of the building. Look at this. It's just literally a perfect square. So this is where we're playing the $100,000 LAN, seriously. And then someone also said, this is actually depressing. This is coming from Stomp. As you guys can see pictures right here, it looks okay on the inside, but I mean, there's a lot of seats that on the back side just don't make any sense, because obviously you all want to watch on the front. And then also it's kind of tiny. It kind of looks tiny as well. So I don't know, it's just a little bit weird to see how they've actually decided to set all of this stuff up. I'm not saying this is necessarily a problem, but I do think that $1 million LAN probably would look a bit nicer than this. We even had one of the casters, which is named Fallout, and you guys know Fallout is very a part of this scene. I like that he's not just casting this, he's always giving his opinion. He's always talking about the ALGS Pro scene, even being excited about some of the players and team compositions that are coming around. He also gave us this update. If you guys did not see this, when the announcement came out, a lot of people missed this. So breaking news, Apex Esports announces that not only will Split 1 playoffs be in London, but all 3 ALGS live events will be in London in year 3. Split 1 playoffs is going to be in London, February 2nd through February the 5th, Copper Box Arena in London. Split 2 playoffs, you know, same thing, June 8th through June 11th. We don't know where that's going to be played in London, but it could be Copper Box Arena again. And then ALGS Championship in the summer of 2023 to be determined once again, all in London. Why in the world are they going all 3 places in London? I mean, of course I understand that, you know, I think the London fans deserve some lands, but my goodness, like, you know, all 3 of them, you know, it's very expensive, I think, for Americans to travel over to London. At least I looked at price flights the other day and it was unbelievable. So I don't even know if I'll be able to go this year because, bro, those are kind of expensive. I don't know why they chose to do all 3 in London. So like a triple whammy of negativity around the ALGS scene. Although I gotta say, I'm still excited for the competition. I'm still excited to watch all of this stuff. I just wish that it was ran a little bit differently. I would have probably chose a little bit different of an arena. I probably would not have done all 3 in London. And I also, if I was Apex, I would market this stuff a little bit better so people actually know what's going on. You know, PvP also giving a good response here from the world champions in Dark Zero, saying, you know, hey, NA ALGS better get 12 land spots minimum. This is unbelievable. Now, earlier in the video, I told you guys that we might see some former rosters kind of peak back up. This was Reptar, who was former on Complexity, and you guys know Complexity has been playing in these split 1 playoffs. I think in the regionals actually they played, and they unfortunately did not qualify. However, Reptar was not on that roster anymore. He said he's looking for a team in split 2 of ALGS for all future tournaments. Unfortunately, he was not able to find a home in split 1, but he really doesn't want to sit another split around watching if he can help it. So not sure who is all looking to make a change, but I'm looking for grinders who want to win, and then also a prize or a prezi, however you pronounce his name, said cough cough, let's make a looking for 1. So could we see these 2 guys team up here? I don't know, but it would be interesting to see him back into the scene, and definitely something you like to see. You know, some OG goats that have been playing in the community for quite some time. Vaxlon also made this tier list of a lot of players that I thought was pretty cool. You know, you have your S tier, your final boss of all these pro players right here. So he said, based on an overall player from this split of ALGS, definitely hard to put players in order, but I tried my best. Sweat, blood, and tears were needed to make this tier list. So you guys can see final boss is actually Monsoon over on Complexity. I thought that was pretty interesting to see, but regardless, I mean, Imperial House up here in the S tier. There's a lot of good players that are going to be playing in this event. I can't wait to see him duke it all out, but I thought it was funny that, you know, Monsoon didn't even qualify, but yeah, he's the final boss. But I think we could all agree Monsoon's pretty goated, and we all love and enjoy his cooking streams. Now, finally, I wanted to make mention of this. This was a clip coming from Nicewigg over on the Zip channel of Nicewigg actually saying that TSM has got something to be worried about. So we know that TSM popped off in these qualification processes. You know, they had the, you know, they were in first place, they had the most score, and they're looking pretty good going into this land, I gotta say. But Nicewigg actually noticed and noted a really big problem that they are currently having, where Verhulst is just trying to keep Imperial How alive. So, you know, Imperial How has that effect, that, you know, streamer effect. He's a popular guy, right? You do not want to make him mad, right? You don't want to ever give him a reason to say, hey, we need to drop Verhulst, right? You know, he's not the guy. You don't want to ever give them that reason, because you would just think Imperial How's always going to stay on TSM. Surely they're not going to drop him. If anything, it's going to be everybody else. So I would imagine it's kind of like an Optic Scumpy situation over to the Call of Duty scene. Like, you know, they're never going to result to dropping Scump. He's the name of the brand. So I would assume that's kind of the same way with Imperial How. And so this was actually the clip of Nicewigg noticing a problem. Roll the clip.
Also, I think as a coach, Raven really does need to recognize that as well. I totally agree, man. Like, as a coach, Raven needs to recognize that Verhulst does that for Hal a lot. Instead of playing to win the fight, Verhulst is playing to keep Hal alive. And you don't ever want that for your teammate. I think when Evan and TSM are shining like they did in ALGS, bro, Evan is not doing that. But some days he has 100% just trying to keep Hal alive. Without a doubt. There's no doubt in my mind that he does that. And I think that's that's something Raven needs to recognize. Evan should not be playing to keep a teammate alive. They should be playing to win the fight every time. No doubt. That's extremely obvious. I mean, I think that's way more obvious than the G2 one, for sure. No, I don't think it's Big E being scared. Being scared and like being worried of messing up are like two different things. Like being scared is actually just like being scared. Like you're fearful of what's to come. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's not terrified of Hal. Like, you know what I mean? They're like close friends. I mean, for Pete's sake, I'm pretty sure they with each other. They're like not scared of each other. But you bet your ass, bro, that Evan's probably a little bit nervous to fuck up in some situations. Like that's just normal, you know? And Evan has taken some time to get used to where he has to be as a player and a fragger for TSM. He has fucked up a lot, so he probably just want to do it more. So I think he just plays to keep Hal alive in some fights instead of playing for the win, like I said, which is not the right call at all. And I'm not there. I'm not there to like listen to their comms or like their meetings or whatever VOD breakdown they have.
So it's definitely an interesting conversation to say the least. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comment section below. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy it. If you want to stay up to date with all things ALGS, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, later, Gators.